Hey there, it's another beautiful day. Let's watch some stuff.
Some people do stupid things. Don't do stupid things. You are about to hear my opinion. Do your own research.
Have y'all seen this video going around the internet of this man that looks like Kanye West? Now, before I start, this is not false information. This is just opinions, okay? But this guy looks just like Kanye West. The man who took the video was trying to talk to him and he was just completely zoned out, was not moving at all. This man looks more like Kanye West than Kanye West looks like Kanye West anymore. This is Kanye now compared to this guy. And man, he said if he ever disappears, whoever came back wasn't him. That's Kanye from back in the day. Look how much this man looks like him. What's really weirding me out is the haircut, because he looks like he's been lobotomized. I mean, is that Kanye? That looks so much like old Kanye. That is just weird. It's uncanny, for real. It's crazy. And I'm telling y'all, look at this. Here's a before and after picture of a woman after she had a lobotomy down here. It's pretty weird.
I had not seen that before. Wow, what an uncanny resemblance. And you know how there was that speculation that Kanye West was potentially replaced? And that's what they do in Hollywood. They just, replace you with your doppelganger or their clone or whatever it is. And Kanye West did get a little outspoken, and maybe they did the old on him, kind of screwed around with his noodle. And now he's just sitting there on a bench like, I don't know. It does look an awful lot like him, though.
Oh my god, guys, look. All the efforts, they're working. We're saving the planet. Getting rid of the plastic straws. Look at what we did.
Oh. Oh. Yeah.
China!
How dare you!
All right, so bear with me a second here. Here's what happened. We put into act all of these initiatives to do, save the environment and stop global warming and all of that stuff. But what did we actually do? We moved all of our manufacturing somewhere that doesn't have all of these carbon emission laws. And then they make it over there, and then we bring it over here and use it. I mean, that's stopping, sort of, with all the tariffs and stuff, right? Buy American, we're gonna have to, bite the bullet and emit our own carbon emissions, which is fine because it doesn't really matter. As you can see, all of the fantastic work that everybody has put out has done nothing because it's not gonna do anything. It's not even a thing.
This is the only proof that someone buried a technological artifact on Earth long before our civilization existed, and it's still functioning. In 2019, a team of Russian archaeologists was excavating in the Siberian permafrost when they found something that shouldn't have been there. A metallic capsule buried 26 feet deep. No signs of oxidation, no damage of any kind. When they opened it, they discovered a cylindrical core pulsing with intermittent light. It emitted binary signals, relentless, obsessive. But the strangest part, the encoded coordinates pointed to unstable orbits around Earth, places where satellites mysteriously vanish. Experts tried to identify the material. It wasn't iron, titanium, or any known compound. It seemed to repel radiation and didn't respond to aging tests. The object wasn't frozen. It maintained its own temperature, as if it were alive. Just before the lab was shut down, the capsule changed its signal. Instead of coordinates, it transmitted a single message. Observation complete. Return initiated. Since then, it's gone dark, and no one's been able to reactivate.
That totally sounds like a movie plot. Is that a movie that I don't know of? I tried looking up like Capsule Siberia 2019 and I got a Willem Dafoe movie, but it didn't say anything about that. But if that is real, that's pretty rad. But still, it sounds like a movie.
So how big of a conspiracy theorist are you? I'll go first. Donald Trump and Elon Musk wanted to see the gold in Fort Knox. And then the American people wanted to see the gold in Fort Knox. And then Elon Musk and Trump had a breakup. And then Elon quit his job with Doge. And then the Epstein files resurfaced. And then they sunk again. And then Obama has been accused of treason, the highest crime in the land, even worse than murder. But he hasn't been arrested yet. But meanwhile, if you go down to Walmart and you self-check out a 52-inch TV for the price of bread, they will arrest you with a private police force before you even leave the store. But through all of these twists and turns, you weren't asking to see or even thinking about the gold in Fort Knox, and that's how they get you.
It's because when you went there and you scanned that bread barcode for your big ass TV, you weren't a politician. Now, if you were a politician, you would have been smarter and you would have scanned something that was cheaper. Because that's what politicians do. Shady, underhanded crap. And they get away with it. Constantly. And what the heck is up with the gold? There is no gold.
So Gavin Newsom and his wife actually created an organization just to steal some of the fire aid money. Like, how this man is still governor of California and not behind bars is mind-blowing. So I'm sure most of you have heard about the fire aid controversy, you know, where they had this concert to raise $100 million for the victims of the Palisade fires. And people started asking, hey, where did all that money go? Because there's not a single person who was a victim of the Palisade fires who's seen a cent of it. And through some investigative journalism, what we found is that they distributed the money in 2 rounds. Now, the first round just went to go to NGOs. Like, some of them have nothing whatsoever to do with fire recovery, but they handed out $50 million apparently to all these corporations, and nobody did a thing. But then when we got to round 2, this shit got even murkier. Because when you actually look at the names of who was given money under round 2, you saw this little organization called Cal Volunteers. Now, that organization is no longer listed as a recipient on the website. Funny how once the story broke, they took their name off the website. I mean, that doesn't look guilty at all. But Cal Volunteers is an organization that was recently created by Gavin Newsom and his wife. And they have never done anything before this. This organization was created strictly for the purpose of getting fire aid money. And they've not said what they plan to do with the money they got. They haven't even said how much of the money they received. No, all they did when people noticed that Gavin Newsom's organization was getting money was take down their name and their organization from the website where the fire aid money went. So, like, not only did these fires happen because Gavin Newsom is a shit governor and doesn't know how to manage shit, not only was the response to these fires complete and total dog shit because Gavin Newsom's a horrible governor, but after his failures, he then created an organization just to siphon off money that they raised to take care of the people that he was supposed to take care of. This dude is a top tier fucking criminal.
A glue stick. A glue stick right now is cheaper than a loaf of bread at Walmart. Gavin Newsom would have definitely scanned a glue stick. I think they're 25 cents right now because school is coming back, right? It's the whole back to school sale. So he would have scanned that to get the TV for 25 cents. That dude's a D-bag for sure, man. I can't freaking believe that. I know a lot has been happening since, the last episode, but they think that he's gonna make a bid for president. With that kind of behavior, I mean, that's like public knowledge right now that they did that. They stuck their grubby little fingers in that fire aid money. And then when they're like, hey, they are watching us, they like pulled back. I don't even know if they got money. And then freaking Kamala over the weekend's like, I'm gonna pull out of politics. No, they're done using you as a puppet. So sit your ass down. They're gonna throw in Gavin Newsom. And it's gonna be glorious. He's gonna get beat so bad.
Wouldn't it be crazy if Russia had a special torpedo which could cause radioactive tsunamis? Allow me to introduce you to the Poseidon torpedo. Just one of these could cause like a devastating 100-foot high tsunami, potentially. They've got like 30 of them, though. And wouldn't it be crazy if we just had another 6.2 magnitude quake outside of Russia on the Russian coastline? Obviously, we had the massive 8.8 magnitude earthquake a couple days ago on Wednesday. Do you hear? Also, wouldn't it be crazy if a bunch of dead whales surfaced on the shore of Japan after the earthquake? And definitely not a testing of some secret radioactive type torpedo or... Yeah, I guess it'd be kind of crazy if Trump responded a couple days ago, actually just yesterday, by deploying 2 nuclear-armed subs to Russian quadrants. I guess the question is, are these earthquakes or something else?
That word drives me crazy. Nuclear. Good thing we don't have any nuclear subs, but we definitely did send over a couple of nuclear subs just to make sure, because Putin's like, we have more subs than you know in places you don't even know about. And Trump's like, oh, we're going to find out. Let's go see what you got going on. But that's an interesting Poseidon missile, right? I was at work when I was on lunch break. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I turned on my phone and it's all tsunami warning on the West Coast. And like now, I'm like, holy crap, what the heck happened? And of course, you know, my sidetrack brain, I was like, hey, lunch. Food first, everybody in danger later, unfortunately. But yeah, that's crazy.
Looks like raw milk is just a cover for what's actually going on in Senate Bill 639, the Farm Bill. There is a Section 19, which basically takes away all liability of chemical manufacturers for the side effects. If they put a warning on the bottle, then they can't be held liable for the cancer that it causes. So let me ask you this grass at this park, how much chemical's been sprayed on it? Sure, the warning's on the bottle for the guy who works here to spray it. We know that it causes cancer through transdermal absorption. Your kids are out here playing on this yard. Do you see any warning signs on this yard? No. So this Section 19 will prevent your kid gets cancer. You can't sue Bayer. Even worse, there's a chemical, this one right here, that they sell in China, they make in China, but they do not even allow it for sale in China. It's so bad. And they use it here in the United States. There's a reason cancer runs higher in golfers, because they're touching this stuff on the grass that they're on. They put a warning on the bottle, no big deal. Is there a warning on the golf course saying, hey, this grass causes cancer? I don't think so. So we can't sue China for the poison they're selling into our country. This Section 19 gives immunity to these chemical companies that are killing our people with their chemicals, because they put a little warning on the back of the bottle somewhere that says, hey, by the way, this stuff causes cancer, but by all means, spray it all over the grass that you play in, right? So Section 19 needs to be struck. Big Ag is putting a ton of money into this, and that's why the dude is not budging on it, because they're saying, oh, well, if you don't give us this immunity, we're not going to sell chemicals to your farmers, or we'll have to up the price to handle the cost of the lawsuits. They all know that it causes cancer, and they're trying to get immunity from it. This is worse than the raw milk part. It's absolutely absurd what our politicians are doing to let companies continue to poison us. Go look at Section 19 and read it for yourself and tell me if I'm crazy. But guys, again, please share this, because it just keeps getting worse and worse. I'm sorry, but raw milk's one thing, with the fact that we're gonna let China just get away with importing chemicals to America with no ramification, that's a deal breaker. Cannot happen. Thank you, guys.
Let's start with the raw milk. I just learned recently that there are several states where it is actually illegal to sell raw milk products, meaning it's not pasteurized, doesn't go through the machine and do the things. And here's where my conspiracy brain goes with that. Politics. Of course, they've got to have money inside of this company that makes these pasteurization machines. And not only did farmers have to buy them, they have to maintain them. They have to have somebody skilled enough to operate them. They have to go through inspections, and all of that is money that they have to give to these companies that the politicians are highly invested in. And if you don't do that, they're not making their money, so no raw milk, because you know they don't care about bacteria or anything like that, or unhealthy stuff, because look at what they're putting in your food. All this nasty chemical crap anyway, and then the crap they're spraying in the park. Let's talk about that. I can't remember ever seeing a sign warning, grass may cause cancer, or harmful chemicals known to the state of wherever to cause cancer. I mean, I don't have a park nearby, but I'm gonna have to go find a park. I know there's signs out front. I'm gonna have to see what they say, because that's absolutely ridiculous.
Right here, this, whatever this is, this right here, we think it's air. But I realized that if I stop, close my nose and mouth for 4 minutes, if I'm separated from this substance for 4 minutes, my heart don't stop. My brain don't even stop. My body functions don't stop. The first thing I lose is consciousness. I pass out. I could no longer stay aware. So I started to say, well, wait a minute. I'm not just breathing in air. I'm breathing in consciousness. I'm inhaling and exhaling God itself. And this air is conscious.
That's a pretty awesome perspective. But if air is consciousness, what do you call food? Let me know in the comments. What is food if air is consciousness? And while you're there, of course, hit that like button, consider subscribing.
So this guy pretended to be a mannequin so that he could get locked inside of a mall so that he could rob it. And this plan was so fucking stupid that it actually almost worked. Because the entire time that he was posing as a mannequin, no one seemed to notice at all, despite the fact that he stuck out like a sore thumb. And when the mall closed, he went on a complete crime spree, stealing thousands of dollars worth of jewelry, eating some of the food, and even copying a whole new wardrobe. And he would have actually gotten away with it if it wasn't for the fact that he forgot about one small thing. Malls tend to have, you know, security to prevent shit like this. So when the security guard saw him, he, you know, kinda got arrested. And even if there was no security guard there, he would have been caught regardless, because this whole stupid stunt was caught on surveillance video. You know, that thing malls also have to prevent shit like this from happening? And now his dumbass is facing 10 years in jail. And he actually pulled a similar stunt like this a little while ago and actually got away with it. Homie, if you wanted to hit an all-night crime spree in a mall, you should have hit up Saul Goodman, because that man knew how to get it done.
That's some serious dedication. I don't know how malls work where that guy is, but malls where I'm from, every single shop has a gate that you close, and you can't go in and out once the mall closes. Now, how he got food, I don't know, unless he was in one of those stores that has snacks or something, is all I can think of, because you can't go out and go to the food court and get food, because there's gates on everything, right? So, it must have been a different type of mall. But Saul Goodman, excellent reference. Bob Odenkirk is making another movie, Nobody 2. Personally, I loved Nobody. I thought it was a fantastic movie. And I've seen the trailers for Nobody 2, and it's a little campy, which is disappointing. But yeah, I'm still gonna see it, because the first one was great, and I'm always up for a good disappointment.
I don't know if you think about this, but we are the only species on the planet that has no idea what to eat. We have no idea what we should really be eating. I think that's good marketing. Watch this.
We're the only species on Earth that's completely lost its mind about food. Yeah, every other animal just eats what it's supposed to eat, right? You don't see a giraffe having an existential crisis about whether leaves are gluten-free, do you? You don't see wolves doing intermittent fasting. Oh my God, Karen, that lion totally needs to try keto. Oh, that zebra meat is like so last season. And these corporate psychopaths, these fucking lunatics, they've convinced us that the most natural thing in the world, right, eating, yeah, needs to be optimized. What? Optimized. It's not a fucking software update. You're not upgrading your ancestors' operating system. They survived an ice age, eating mammoth meat and berries, but somehow we need an app to tell us what to put in our faces. And now we're paying extra for food that hasn't been fucked with. What? That's like paying a hitman to not kill somebody. We're the first generation in human history that needs to read the ingredients of our food. Our grandparents just ate, food. What's in the stew, Grandma? Well, it's fucking beef, Johnny. Where else would it be? Meanwhile, the French, they're still eating cheese and drinking wine. They're living to be 90. While we're over here having anxiety attacks over fucking yogurt. Oh no, is it Greek enough? Is it activated? Does it align with my star sign? What's its carbon footprint? Look, maybe, just maybe, if your food needs a TV commercial with dancing cartoon characters to convince you to eat it, it's probably not fucking food. It's an edible marketing campaign with a side of type 2 diabetes.
Has anybody else noticed how much the price of meat has gone up? It's gone up quite a bit. My husband told me yesterday that meat is at its all-time highest price that it's ever been. Obviously all-time. I like to be redundant and repeat myself sometimes. But that's insane. I wonder if a lot of people are realizing, okay, all this other crap is crap and just eat meat. Because I'm finding a lot more people are doing carnivore just like me, which I think is fantastic. And maybe the government got into that and they're like, hey, jack up those prices because they're getting pricey.
Have you ever seen Orthodox priests pour holy water from an airplane? Watch this.
I've seen videos where they're saying that it's holy water coming out of like those helicopter, the fire dumper ones, right? Where they dump a ton of water, which would be devastating on people because that stuff it's a lot of water. Even if it is holy water, it'll hurt you. But did he like warn the people? Like, hey, I mean, it's just a chalice, but hey, if there's some water, don't worry, this is what's happening. Or was it like on his building, like his church or something, had to do it from above? I don't know the whole backstory, but I just thought that was interesting.
We're not doing this today, but apparently some folks thought bottling a spiritual experience was a good idea, literally. So a group of travelers brought back holy water from a holy site in Ethiopia, known for its healing properties. Turns out this blessed water was teeming with cholera bacteria. 7 people in the UK and Germany ended up hospitalized, with some requiring intensive care. The water was so contaminated that health officials warned against consuming it, regardless of its supposed sanctity. Look, if your souvenir requires a hazmat team, maybe just stick to postcards.
All right, now don't get mad. This is where my brain goes with that. And it's because I'm non-religious, so take it as you will. This is my opinion, my personal point of view. Could you imagine being like super religious? Unless, of course, you are. And your friend brings you back some holy water from a blessed spring that has healing properties. And you consume this holy water and you get violently ill. What would you think? Maybe, you know, I wasn't supposed to have that holy water from that particular place, or is God mad at me? Am I being punished for something? What did I do? That's just a real head game in my head. I'm sure that there would be other emotions happening in that situation. If you're religious, tell me what you would think in that particular situation. I'd really like to know.
This chess-playing robot was facing off with a 7-year-old competitor when it suddenly grabbed the kid's finger and broke it. What did competition officials have to say about it? It happens. Staff at the Moscow Chess Open said the robot grabbed onto the boy's finger when he didn't allow the robot enough time to make its own move. The Moscow Chess Federation was renting the robot and pointed out there were certain safety rules and the child apparently violated them. The Federation's vice president said this was the first time, as far as he knew, of something like this happening with this particular robot in about 15 years, according to Russian media. Officials say they'll investigate the robot's actions and determine whether any additional safety measures are needed. The boy managed to finish the tournament, but his parents are reportedly seeking legal action.
Ooh, that little boy was cheating. And the robot said, no, I'm gonna teach you a lesson. What are they gonna do? You know, remove the robot's battery, put it in jail, just throw it in the scrapyard. I'm sure they'll just throw in a new set of code.
Crazy things that were considered completely normal in the past. Asylums for disobedient wives. In the past, women who didn't follow the rules or challenged male authority were often sent to asylums. They were called crazy, even if they weren't. These places were used to control women and force them to behave a certain way.
I don't know what the hell women are whining about. I think we got it pretty good right now.
Psychiatric conditions of the Victorian era.
These were recognized mental illnesses that could have sent you to an insane asylum. 1. Melancholia. What we might now call depression. Melancholia was characterized by deep sadness, lack of energy, and an overall sense of despair. 2. Neurasthenia. Often described as a condition of nervous exhaustion, neurasthenia included symptoms like fatigue, anxiety, headache, neuralgia, and depressed mood. This diagnosis was said to be a condition of businessmen and might now be called burnout. 3. Hysteria. Primarily diagnosed in women, hysteria was a catch-all term for a variety of symptoms, including faintness, nervousness, sexual desire, insomnia, fluid retention, and heaviness in the abdomen. 4. Epilepsy. Known and treated as a psychiatric disorder, epilepsy was often misunderstood as a form of madness or demonic possession. 5. Drapetomania. A term coined in 1851 to describe the supposed mental illness that caused enslaved Africans to flee captivity. This was based on the belief that slavery was such an improvement upon the lives of the enslaved that only those suffering from mental illness would wish to escape. This term is now understood as scientific racism and is not recognized as a legitimate medical condition.
Now here's the absolutely crazy part. They were right. Not that they were doing the right thing, because right now we look back on it and we're like, hey, we're crazy. That's not right. But in that time period, with the information that they had on hand, They were doing what they thought was the right thing. They were behaving in the right manner towards these particular behaviors. And it's crazy to think about, what are we doing now that in 100, 200 years, we're going to look back on and go, oh my God, we had it so wrong. We had it so wrong.
Craziest things found under the ice on Earth. The Baltic Sea UFO. This was discovered on June 19, 2011, when Swedish treasure hunters using sonar detected a 70-meter-wide disc-shaped object deep beneath the icy waters. Its metallic surface and unusual grooves sparked theories of a crashed spacecraft. Divers reported that their electronic devices would malfunction when near the object, as if it was emitting an unknown energy field. As you can also see, there is a clear pathway leading up to the object, almost as if it had crashed and slid across the sea floor.
What? I can't believe I've never heard of that. I've never seen that image before. That is pretty freaking cool. So it looks like it hit and then it came to a stop. Is that a real picture? Did I just get duped? Because that's freaking awesome.
So this is a question. I know a lot of people question like the new snow that falls, and I'm not claiming this is anything, but I grew up on the West Coast in the sun, so I can't speak a lot on ice. So my question is for you guys. Is this normal? I've never seen someone be able to roll the snow away like this.
All right, my snow folks. Is that what happens? West Coaster here. I've seen it snow there twice. I mean, I've been in snow, I've seen snow, I've gone up to the mountains, but I've never seen anything like that before. It makes me think of cartoons where you see like a little snowball, right? And it rolls down the hill and just keeps collecting more and more snow. And I'm assuming it's just like that. And they would have to have gotten that from some real life experience. So does that happen? It's kind of cool.
Don't watch this if you plan on trying to sleep tonight. The person who took this photo claims they heard strange noises in their apartment at night. One night when he was alone in his apartment, he heard those same strange noises and took this photo. Do you see anything suspicious about it? Here's your warning, it gets pretty creepy from here. It was only after he enhanced the photo was he able to see this figure staring back at him from the kitchen hallway. But don't worry, it gets worse. He then left his camera recording overnight and was able to capture this footage. And when we brighten it up, yeah. What do you think?
I think I probably shouldn't have watched that, because you don't know this, but it's midnight in my studio. My studio is a little bit of a ways away from my house, and I gotta walk over to my house, and there's gonna be things in the dark trying to eat me. That was pretty creepy. That was very creepy, actually.
So apparently you can use an old phone to see the truth about the Mandela effects. For example, he did have a headband on, I know for a fact, but in the videos now, it's removed. Same with Shaggy, he always had like a big Adam's apple, boom, like that. This is what they're, but check out the rest of the video.
I think there was a little bit of tomfoolery going on there. I don't think that's accurate. I mean, that's an old frickin' phone, first of all, and it didn't quite match up, so I'm calling this one... I'm gonna find my BS flag. I really am. I got to dig through some bins that I had already dug through, and I didn't find it. I didn't look good enough. But yes, I believe.
Let's go.
Let's go. I'm ready. You keep bringing me to Sam's Club. I'm representing for Costco.
You like Sam's Club, stop.
Oh, they got honey buns.
They ain't got honey buns at
They
Costco?
ain't got no honey buns. This a new flavor?
I don't know. I ain't never seen that. Are you hot or something?
No, I'm just...
Why have the shirt off?
I'm just loosening up. Hey, you remember these?
I sure do. I used to eat 5 of them
We
at
gotta get
lunch.
these.
Go for it.
Why don't Costco got sushi?
They do got sushi.
Where? Exactly. Exactly. Where? Nowhere.
What is that, cinnamon rolls?
Yeah, they say you warm these up. These hella good.
Why you take your sweater off now? It's freezing.
I don't need that. I don't need it no more. I don't need it no more.
It's freezing. You gonna get sick.
All right.
I know that was set up, but I honestly don't get it. I'm not a fan of Sam's Club. And that's all we have out here as far as big warehouse stores, bulk shopping. Costco has always been my go-to, even when it was Price Club, right? And then it became Costco. But it's just, I've had both memberships at the same time, and I always preferred to go to Costco. And they do have sushi. It's over in the deli section.
Picture this. You're outside doing yard work, and your neighbor calls you and says, I don't know what's about to fly over you, but something's about to fly over you. So get your camera ready and get ready to capture it. So you do, and lo and behold, this flies over your house. Here's a close-up of it. Do you recognize what this is? I was like, what the heck is that? Well, the people who filmed this, they recognized what it was immediately. It's an owl with a hobby horse. Allegedly, the owl must have stolen a hobby horse from someone. I don't know. Maybe the owl saved up. He worked odd jobs around town and he bought the hobby horse. Who am I to judge? Anyway, this owl has allegedly been riding the airwaves with this hobby horse all over town for months. Have you ever heard of anything like that? I have never heard of anything like that.
Maybe the owl's training for some of those hobby horse competitions. Have you seen those? They're embarrassing. They're so embarrassing. Or maybe they think it's, their baby or something. I don't know. On that note, I'm calling it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. If you haven't already, hit that like button and consider subscribing. Then come on back, because we're going to watch some new stuff. I'll say different things, and it's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.
I scroll through static in a velvet robe, aliens, clones, and lizard pros. My Wi-Fi's haunted, or so they say. Echoes of TikToks never fade away. Is that a glitch or the face of fate? Clickbait dreams on a data plate. Digital ghosts and coffee toast. We laugh with fear. We love the most when stories break and logic bends. The weird begins but never ends. Dudes with theories, hats of foil. Government stealing microwave oil. Flat earth maps in a donut shape. And don't forget that moon is fake, she said. Watch this, then hit record. The rabbit hole's a motherboard. Digital ghosts and coffee toast. We sip the strange, we roast the host. Truth in memes or maybe lies. It's all just fun until it fries.
That lady just married a ghost pirate. No further questions.
Digital ghosts and coffee toast. Mrs. Collins knows the most. Laughs in code, lights up the screen. The strangest stuff you've ever seen.
Coffee Talk. Always a wild ride.